What's up everybody, Ultimate Reviews here and welcome back for another video. So today we're going to be taking a look at the top 5 Quad HD display smartphones. Now as you guys may have noticed, Quad HD displays have taken a massive toll in the smartphone market this year. Lots of manufacturers are starting to include it in their production, and it's even been included in some flagship models such as the LG G3 and also another Samsung Galaxy S5 variant. But I don't want to give too much away. Let's start off at number 5. So at number 5 we have the Vivo xPlay 3S. Now it has a very weird name, and of course it's a China branded smartphone which always has that stereotype of being not as good as the mainstream manufacturers such as Samsung and Sony and HTC. However, this phone is actually including some pretty cool specs. You'll find a 6-inch 2560 by 1440 resolution display, which is 2K of course, at a pixel density of 490. Now this is much higher than your average pixel density on your typical mid-range smartphone, and I suppose the more pixels the better. Just the more pixels you have, the more crisp and sharp it will look, and obviously the less you have, you will notice a bit of fuzziness and graininess, similar to the old phones we had a few years back. But however, this phone is also including a Qualcomm Snapdragon 800 processor, clocked at 2.3 GHz, alongside with a quad-core Crate 400 CPU and 3 GB of RAM, and also not to mention the Adreno 330 GPU. So this would be bringing some really intense performance, whether you're gaming or just using it for casual use. Now you'll also find a 3200 mAh battery, which would be powering that beautiful 2K display. So at number 4 we have the Lenovo Vibe Z2 Pro. Now Lenovo are definitely a much more known and reputable company than Vivo, and this time they've actually created themselves a heck of a device. So on the Z2 Pro you'll find a 6-inch 2560 by 1440 resolution display, which again is 2K, at a whopping pixel density of 490. Now inside the device you'll also find a Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 processor and also a dual-core Crate 400 CPU clocked at 2.5 GHz, alongside with 3 GB of RAM and the Adreno 330 GPU. So at number 3 we have the Oppo Find7. Now a few weeks ago Oppo actually claimed to be the first manufacturer to bring in the 2K display into smartphones, and this was contested by LG on Twitter. So the Oppo Find7 features a 5.5-inch 2K display at an insane PPI of 534. Now inside the device you'll also find a Snapdragon 801 processor and also a quad-core Crate 400 CPU clocked at 2.5 GHz, and also an Adreno 330 GPU followed by 3 GB of RAM. This is all made possible by the 3000 mAh battery, which I believe they could have made just a bit bigger considering it is powering a 2K display, and you really do want this phone to last you the entire day. So at number 2 we have the LG G3. Now this is definitely my favourite device in the whole of 2014. It's just so different, and the screen on it is absolutely beautiful. It's a 5.5-inch 2K display at a pixel density of 534, similar to the Oppo Find7, and again that's ridiculously high. And just from my experience on it, it was just so clear and so crisp. Every single piece of information and text and colours on the display looked so clear and vivid. It's definitely one of the best displays on a smartphone that have ever been made. Now you'll also find a Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 processor clocked at 2.5 GHz and also a quad-core Crate 400 CPU alongside with the Adreno 330 and the 3 GB of RAM. Now depending on what part of the world you live in, you also may be able to pick up the Snapdragon 805 version, which obviously will cost a bit more money. Which brings us to number 1. Now you guys may have guessed already, it's the Samsung Galaxy S5 Lte-a. Now before I start, this phone is only available in certain parts of the world. It isn't available worldwide, and Samsung haven't made it available worldwide. So if you are buying it, you will need to start searching on Google and definitely ship it internationally. But if you ask me, this phone is basically on steroids. It features a 5.1-inch 2K display at a pixel density of an insane, and I really exaggerate when I say this, 577 pixels per inch. very close to 600, and that is absolutely insane. It's the first time we've ever seen a pixel density like that on a smartphone. Now, apart from the display, it also features Qualcomm's latest Snapdragon processor, the 805, and it also features a quad-core Crate 450 CPU clocked at 2.5 GHz, alongside with the Adreno 420 GPU and the 3 GB of RAM. Anyway guys, this has been my top 5 Quad HD display smartphones. I hope you've all enjoyed the video. If you have, please show the love by hitting the thumbs up button. It really helps out a lot. And also hit the subscribe button so you can be kept up to date with all of my future IFA Berlin coverage, which takes place in just a few weeks from now. I will be able to get my hands on the upcoming Samsung Galaxy Note 4 and the upcoming Sony Xperia Z3. So I'm really excited for that. So make sure you subscribe to be kept up to date. And I will see all of you in the next video. Have a great day. Peace.